Good day, I'm Dr. Evony Lambito Alisa Devesa, and now we will be discussing how to bring up children. So, with regards to the timing of birth is relevant to how parents can make themselves available physically and psychologically to older children. Consideration of the needs of older children. So, if you have 4-year-old, 3-year-old, 2-year-old, and you are now ready to be present physically and psychologically to your next child, then you are ready to have another. Remember that parenthood is not about for your children to fulfill your dreams. So like for example, a child is born with expectation that he or she will fulfill the dreams of her or his parents, then the child has the disadvantage from the very beginning, because he or she will have difficulty in realizing his or her own popular belief. The birth of a child will not actually strengthen the relationship of the couple if the couple is having a conflict and they think having a child will actually resolve the conflict of the relationship. So giving birth to a child during those marital conflict will actually add another burden or stress to both parties, and it will actually lead to the deterioration of the relationship. So, if you're thinking that your marriage will be solved or marital conflict will be solved by having a child, then it's not actually the solution. So, if you want to solve your problem, then solve it before you both decide to have a child. As parents, we are actually reflections of our own parents. So our emotional experience during our childhood can also help us during the time that we became parents. And if you have a happy childhood, then most of us apply how our parents raised us. That's how we raised our own children. In parent-child relationship, there is such a thing as goodness of fit. That means the harmony of the relationship of both parent and child will also depend how well one blends with the other. For example, I will not give an example of me and Sava. For example, if your mother is actually very meticulous with cleanliness in the house, and with regards to you, you don't want to be outside your room. You want to just read most of the time with your book. So usually you don't just clutter things around, and you don't make some cause some dirt or destroy the cleanliness of the house. So that's the goodness of it. There is harmony with regards to your mother, and satisfaction of the needs of the child is important in the transformation of an infant from an unrelated being to the related being. It is crucial in the evolution of the infant's intelligence that there is consistent satisfaction of the needs. Remember, during infancy period, usually the child will actually be narcissistic in such a way that he or she wants her or his needs to be taken care of immediately by his or her primary caregiver or his parents. So consistent satisfaction of needs is important. Psychologically, the more important needs of the infant is to feel secure and being cared for. That will actually be the basis for the good attachment of the child to his or her mother. The bond that is actually being formed between the child and the mother or the primary caregiver is really important to the child. This will help the child to have the capacity to form good relations in the future. The infant's need has to be met so that she will be able to predict what is coming, to enable her to distinguish good from bad feelings. And this consistent care from the primary caregiver will give her the sense of security. Aside from providing basic need of an infant, the child also need to be touched, a hug, talk to, sing to, and play with in order to feel secure and loved. And this will actually help the child to recognize what is around him or her, and also to develop her or his intelligence. Her or his advantage of breastfeeding from bottle feeding. Of course, breastfeeding has a lot of positive impact to the child. It gives nutrients that is not available during bottle feeding. Okay, aside from that, it will actually hasten up or fasten the bonding of the mother and the child. But if you have difficulty with regards to breastfeeding and there are factors that prohibits you to breastfeed your infant, then you can bottle feed the infant. And don't forget, it is really important for you not to be anxious and feel guilty if you cannot breastfeed your infant, because anxiety and your guilt can actually affect the bonding with you and your child. Generally, it's better to give feedings per demand. It's because if the child can predict that his needs can be given per demand, it actually he becomes more conscious of the mother, and it actually facilitates the attachment of the mother and the child. Remember, sucking and mouthing during infancy is actually reflexes of the child, and the child actually explore the environment through sucking. Through sucking and mouthing, the child actually explores his or her environment and obtain knowledge of the world outside. So don't stop the child if he sucks or the child is putting something in the mouth, but make sure that that object is actually clean. So sucking or mouthing, the child puts something in the mouth, it actually his or her way of exploring things aside from eating. So the father actually has a role during infancy, because this is the time that the child actually develops also the relationship with the father, and it improves marital relations, because the mother would actually appreciate the mother would actually appreciate her husband if he actually helps her with regards to the task in child rearing. Ambivalence with regards to independence actually make the child or the toddler angry and aggressive. So the mother should let go. Let the child actually get dirty, eat germs, or skin themselves. So actually, it's the time that the child wants independence. One of the first period of years that the child wants independence. So the mother should let go, because if the parents or the primary caregiver is overprotective, it actually harms the child. It constrains the children and frustrates them. Toddlerhood, the children actually learns that they can do things. They can do things that make people react on that thing. So usually they say no in order, a way of testing this discovery. This discovery that they learn that they can make other people around them react. So negativism is not only for power and control, but also negativism is an effort not only for power and control, but also an effort that they are separate from the mother. Okay, so that's why often they have tantrums, and I have prepared a video for you how to handle tantrums. So please search on my YouTube DocVon regarding how to handle tantrums during toddlerhood. There's no way actually to win battle against toddlers, so you have to be creative, and I actually prepared the ways how to handle tantrums during toddlerhood. Sadism and destructiveness actually may happen during toddlerhood because of this testing of discovery, that they can do things and observe how people react. So this is a cause and effect experiment. So if I do this, what would be the effect? So That's why if you want to correct the child with regards to this behavior, take note that the correction not harsher than what is the behavior, because if you, like for example, spank the child or hit the child, then the aggression would be worse. Okay, so if ever, do things I have prepared for you in my video about how to handle tantrum. So how to discipline the child? You can use timeout, wherein you put the child in a specific area or a room, but you must be inside, so the child can still see you from afar, because some children or toddlers are actually terrified when they are left alone. So another method to discipline children at this age would be reward and punishment. So punishment with regards to deprivation of things, like you cannot watch TV, you cannot use cell phone, you cannot do things like this. So deprivation, not physical discipline, because usually it can lead to physical abuse, and it actually give or it can actually result to more damage to the child. So you can reward good behavior by appreciating the child, complimenting, and also giving things that can make the child appreciate that good behavior. Let the child also to learn things on their own, so they can be independent early on, and this time the child actually imitate the adult, so let them enjoy this time. Biting and hitting is actually common during this period of time, so the mother can actually discipline the child using a firm voice and tell the child that it is wrong. Okay, so if you learned from this video, please feel free to share, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. God bless.